that'd be lovely.
Try and insult me in other cod languages.
You could bring Europe together if they just, like, instead of Esperanto, that there was just one common language. The language
I'll
of
tell you what would bring
freaking
I'll tell you what would bring the Europe together is you maybe representing England on the Eurovision Song Contest
That would be great.
with a self-penned tune.
Shall I do that?
That would be magnificent. It's got to be worth thinking
What about
about.
just about everyone being the same?
Yeah,
and,
just
like,
about
the
people
euro
being
and that?
equal.
Everyone, not
and also mentioning the euro. Yeah.
yeah, just doing that. I like all different. I like all different cheeses.
Oh, je t'aime la musique pop.
Yeah.
La baby belle. Et le cheddar. I mean, I'm not fluent French.
Le grand fromage.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it? And they'll all be there, all in their different.
Well, every line could
uniforms.
be maybe in a different language.
Yeah, and what would I wear? I'd wear sort of like a kilt.
You'd wear a kilt, but you'd also have on your head one of those kind of big, what are they called? Those big furry hats that beefeaters or whatever wear. Or
Yeah, one of them.
Is it kind of a busby or something? A busby?
Yeah.
Wear one of those, or maybe a policeman's helmet,
That'd
a
be
Bobby's
good.
helmet with the kilt.
Yeah.
You'd have the clogs.
I'd wear the policeman's helmet under the kilt, so they just thought I was really enjoying the show.
Yeah. Good idea.
Hey?
Excellent. We've talked, well, I think we talked for about 3 minutes without having to mention some kind of genitalia.
We should celebrate by playing one of my tunes of the year.
Really? What one is it?
U2 Electrical
Oh,
Storm.
I know you're a big fan. I know you're a
good
big fan.
choice. Well done.
Electrical Storm. U2. I think that's my favourite of the year. If I had to pick one, that's great. And I do still feel slightly guilty about dissing them throughout the 90s. But, you know.
Don't feel guilty if you didn't
No,
like it.
yeah,
I like the
them
80s
with
stuff,
them.
I didn't like the 90s stuff. I'm loving what they're doing in the
I think you're a
noughties.
bigger man than them, frankly, for being able to admit your past mistakes. I think you're better than Bono, despite all his charity work.
Yeah.
You're more of a noble
Yeah,
figure.
stop bothering the Pope, he's busy.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
Rick, my mother always used to say to me that you should write and thank your aunties and so on for their gifts.
Yeah.
And, I feel like we should take a moment out just to thank all the people that have emailed or written into us during the year, because we don't, basically, we're very lazy men and we never reply.
Well, I
really.
never look.
You never
So
look at the
You
emails.
read them and I go, anything
I
from me and you
reply
go,
very occasionally if I
you're
think
like
it's
my
worth it.
secretary when it comes, you protect me from, like, people who...
The insults and so on.
Yeah. Are there any
Yeah.
insults, are
Oh,
there?
there's plenty, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do you have to protect him, really?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of things I don't tell him, lots of
Not
things
very
I keep
nice.
from him.
It's not very nice. I
Yeah.
thought... I was... Right.
Well, he's just not as popular as he thinks he is.
Oh.
He thinks that when he's, like, dancing around and making funny faces and squawking and making noises and
No,
stuff
he
when we're
hasn't done
filming,
it.
he thinks that everyone thinks that's
hasn't done it
enjoyable.
at the
Yeah.
Some of...
What, people think I'm quite an annoying little prat, do they?
That's not the word they used, but you're near enough
Really?
there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't say prat, but, you're on the right lines.
Okay.
But, for instance, we got an email here from Graham. He says, please stop the chat and let's hear some more great ads, as I'm still not sure what mobile phone I should get the wife for Christmas.
Well, maybe this'll help you out.
Oh, just having fun with the webcam.
Sorry. Yeah. We're just playing with the webcam.
The webcam's an absolute treat. I
That
didn't
is a
realise.
lovely picture,
There's a little
Steve.
picture there of Steve on
That's
it. Oh.
lovely.
Right,
That'll keep the
was
ladies
Feeder.
happy,
That was Feeder.
if I know them.
Great. Yeah, no, that's one of my favourite tracks of the year as well.
Feeder, you've enjoyed that?
Which is what we're doing. God, it's gone quickly. It's only quarter of an hour to go.
Yes, indeed, yes. Carl will be back next week for our kind of Christmas, bonanza. I say that, we've got nothing planned. There's no
No,
reason why it
that'd
should
be
be a bonanza.
That'd be
No.
nice, yeah.
Oh,
But so we'll
dear.
play some Christmas tunes, and no doubt Carl will have some kind of festive game for us, maybe, or a festive, some
Well, we're
festive
introducing
trivia.
a couple of new games. I mean, he's struggling with Rockbusters, which we've missed this week. Educating Ricky, he thinks there's nothing out there. All he could find was a parrot and a dog in a car wash.
Yeah, you can't find any more interesting
Still
stuff.
a little bit upset that we told him about intelligent crabs and babies forcing their way out.
Yeah, we
early.
stitched him up last week by telling him some what we claimed were facts.
Alright, because I was out shopping, so I missed it. Yeah, tell me what
well,
happened then.
you know, you can
Well,
always
you know,
go
he
get a
sort of
little
believes
portable or something.
anything that's weird and
Yeah,
wonderful. And we just
yeah.
made up this story. So I said the two bodybuilders, got married and, she had a baby, but it after 6 months or 7 months, she was in bed asleep and she woke up in terrible agony where the baby, where it had born, the bodybuilder, had forced its way out of the vagina and was pulling her along by the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
And intelligent crabs and stuff like this, and he was genuinely disappointed.
Yeah, that they weren't true.
But he came up with a new idea. What I'm gonna do is tell him 3 things,
Yeah.
one of which is made up and ludicrous, and 2 incredible facts, and it's called That's Ridiculous.
Brilliant.
So he has to go. Number 3 is Ridiculous. It's a winner.
Yeah.
Carl always comes up with the title first. You don't have to work the game show out from the title.
Have you started work on That's Ridiculous yet?
No, I've thought of a couple of things.
It is great. It's so much fun to say, isn't it? Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You're correct. Basically, it's like Call My Bluff, isn't it? Really?
It's not unlike Call My Bluff. It's not unlike Bluff.
It's not like Bluff.
Certainly, you've.
So, yeah, we've had Oasis, Streets, we've had U2, we've had some cracking tunes. Can we get away with playing Nelly?
Hot in Here? I think it's a cracking tune, I really do. I just think, again, you know, I'm not interested in what genre you think it fits into, or whether you think it's cool, or because kids like it, you're not supposed to like it. It's a good tune, and I think we should try and stick it in. But before that, Rick, could I just play one track? We did play it much earlier in the year. It's from that album, Son of Evil Reindeer, by a band called The Reindeer Section, and this is a cracking little tune. I just think it's beautiful, and nice to hear it.
Oh, beautiful, marry it then. Oh.
Nice, isn't it? Very Christmassy.
It makes me want to wish everyone a happy Christmas.
Indeed.
You know
well, yeah, do it.
No.
No, okay. That's called Grand Parade from the album Son of Evil Reindeer by The Reindeer Section. It's a nice tune. It's one of my favourites of the year.
By the way,
not at all, no, that's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Claire, just big highlights of the year for you as a final roundup? Sort of things have you enjoyed this year? I mean, musically maybe, or maybe stuff you've, you know...
I've enjoyed that band, The Music.
Okay.
And The Rapture.
Sure.
And the Electric Six. Remember last time I sat in for Carl, we played Danger High Voltage.
Yeah.
Like, one of the first times.
That was the first time I'd heard it, you played that,
and now we're playing it every hour.
Yeah, because you're sort of a pioneer, aren't you, musically on XFM? You're one of the people who keeps it pretty raw.
I remember the early days of Idlewild. Ricky, do you remember the early days of Idlewild?
I'll take that back as well. Teasing you about them playing the Pinder and Wakefield stuff. That latest single I love, and the video's great as well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Idlewild now.
You'd
no, great,
brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good year. I haven't been out to many gigs, obviously, because I do the evening show. But you know, all the sessions which I'm doing the best of next week. Quick plug for the show next week. Best of the sessions. So yeah, it's been good year.
Low points. What do?
Low points.
Do you know what mine are?
What?
Poverty and war and everything.
Oh, I always hate it. I always hate it.
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
No, you were going to say.
I was going to say.
No, you were going to say the streets or something, and and you didn't care about all of the people dying. So don't try and do it now.
I'm thinking specifically.
You're nasty. You like that. You like poverty. Oh, you like poverty and salvation. Play a record.
That's interesting.
Yourself.
That's interesting.
What?
Near Christmas time.
What a horrible.
You hope kids go lame.
You're evil.
That's terrible. That's terrible thing. Nelly, hot
cheeky little bit of Nelly there on XFM 104.9. We don't care. Springsteen and Nelly, you don't get that on XFM, do you?
No.
Usually?
No, indeed.
We don't live by the rules, Stu.
Absolutely. As I was listening to you then talk...
You got bored?
No, it reminded me of an email that someone sent in, saying that they listen online, but, because of however slow their computer is or whatever, it kind of stutters all the way through.
You've got to point out that is the way I talk.
No, but they said it only happens when you talk. And, I think they've correctly identified that it's not the computer at fault.
Well, that's why I wasn't worried about doing this
someone.
boxing match, because I've definitely lost my looks, and I already slur.
Yes.
So there was really no danger of any damage.
No, exactly, yeah, you do sound punch-drunk constantly.
Exactly,
but that's just part of your charm.
Well, listen, that's been a lovely 2 hours for me. I've enjoyed it. I hope the listeners have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope Sturgis has enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it, yeah.
Well, I didn't really care if you enjoyed it. Don't butt in when I'm talking to Steve. You know, you won't
You're here
do
to
it
press
again.
the button, Sturgis.
We're going to play now a Christmas song for the lovely Christmas ladies.
I don't say it's so much Christmassy, but it's one of the tunes I heard this year that really stuck out for me.
Thing, so.
Well, you're a fool. You've embarrassed yourself. You've just shown up that there's no planning. This is was given away on a free CD on the cover of a magazine. I just think it's brilliant. It's a Lamb Chop, who are an excellent band always, doing a cover of an obscure Rolling Stones tune called Backstreet.
A bloody good meal as well.
That's true enough. So we'll leave them with this. It's Backstreet Girl, Lamb Chop, and see you next week for our final festive show. Yeah, thanks very much. Embarrassing. Something embarrassing, thank you.
Lloyd Cole. She's a girl and I'm a man. Good that, innit? On XFM, 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
As ever, Rick, there's always someone who steps in to defend Carl.
Okay, what is the defence? What is the defence?
Here's an email from Scott Coomer. He says, Carl is actually right. I've got an A-level in statistics and probability. It doesn't matter how long they have and how many monkeys you have, you cannot guarantee they would type the complete works of Shakespeare. Infinity makes it probable they would get it right, but not definite.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
No, you weren't saying, Carl. You don't understand it. Infinity sort of sorts it out. That if they do anything, they're nearly do everything, won't they?
No, I mean, they'll give it a good shot.
No, that's not the point. But the
I'd
point
be
is
surprised if they did one page right.
Right, listen, it's not to do with consciousness, it's not to do with them aiming.
They are just bashing away at the keyboard.
It's like they're used to show that there isn't consciousness. They chose the chimpanzee because it can type, presumably, hit the keyboard.
It's because they hadn't come across you at the time.
Yeah. It's to take out thought out of it. It's to take out reason and trying, right? It's just random. They're saying that if you typed enough things, if the computer was left out typing everything, if you left it for an infinite amount of time, and they chose Shakespeare because there is meaning behind it, and it's difficult to get it exactly right, to show you that infinity would come up with it's not just Shakespeare, it's every novel. It's everything.
Fairly eloquent there from Gervais. A quick riposte, please, from Karl Pilkington.
No, I'm just saying, what I don't understand, if it hasn't read it, then how does it know where it's going?
Listen, right, okay, listen, right, Can I just explain to people, right? Some people have said, oh, why are you cruel to Karl? He drives me mental with things like that. What do you mean, well?
Let me just take a breather.
How do I do your editing?
He keeps coming in the week. You know that I work here properly, in the week, don't I? Yeah. I've got a proper job, should be 9 to 5, but I normally get in at about 8 o'clock and work
A lot of people
get
getting 8 o'clock.
Working hard, trying to do my job. 3 times this week, I've been rushing around, I walked past my little studio, he's sat in there, alright? Now, because I've got this sort of job, I can get away with it. I said to him, if I was a doctor, would he keep coming to me practice?
If you were a doctor, there'd be severe problems with the NHS.
Imagine that.
The standards would have lowered so much if you can arrive at the hospital, you're a doctor.
We'll pop in, I'll go to lunch, don't we? We have a little lunch break, don't we? I go, come on, let's go now. He goes, I'm busy. I go, come on, let's go now. He's going, oh, you're doing me head in.
Well, when I was talking about the monkey conundrum with Karl, he said to me, right, if I had a day off work, and I was, say, watching the TV, and with one hand I was typing a typewriter, would I type Shakespeare? I mean...
Yeah, but you see, there's certain things, we were talking a little bit about this stuff the other week, weren't we, when we said, you were going on about Einstein, and I said he's not that good. You know, E equals MC squared, you know, it sounds good, but I've never used it and that.
I've never used it! You haven't used 2 and 2 equals 4, Karl!
The fella with an apple fell on his head. You know, it could have been anyone sat under that tree. Do you know what I mean? It's just annoying.
Lucky. And Newton gets all the credit for his laws of the universe.
Well, other people were working whilst he was having a lunch break under the tree. So in a way, it's like he didn't deserve to have that success story.
Again, forget the apple and the tree and whether he was sitting down having a lunch break. It's totally irrelevant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's certain things that will just happen. You know, it's like, I think we were talking, when we were out eating the other week, we were talking about Noel Gallagher.
Well, this is the reason the monkey discussion came up, right? Noel Gallagher...
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Rick, I don't want to misquote Noel.
I'm gonna be like Herbert Lom in Clouseau. I'm gonna get a twitch whenever he opens his mouth. I don't know where to start with some of his statements.
Well, as I say, this discussion began because we were talking about a quote that Noel Gallagher supposedly gave. Now, I don't want to misquote Gallagher, but the gist of it was that he said, had I... written Wonderwall or whatever, instead of the Beatles writing Strawberry Fields or whatever, I'd be the one that was considered the great songwriter and it wouldn't be the Beatles, you know, it's just the fact that they came first that meant that they get all the credit as being the greatest band in the world.
I don't know where to start with that statement either.
I mean, that's Gallagher's thing and he's, you know, well, whatever, we know what we think of that. What was your point, Karl? You agreed with him, didn't you?
Yeah, I reckon, right, do you know we've talked about putting a baby in a room before and it'll know what colour it is and stuff? If you've got a room that's painted red, right, but forget that, because that's going to confuse
Hear him out.
Listen to me. Say if they did some new TV show, right, like, what's that film with Jim Carrey in, where
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, right, so they make up a little room, and, some woman has some kids, and you say, right, let's put the kids in this room, and they don't know what's going on outside, they don't know anything about, like, EastEnders and that, it's like their little world, right? They don't know anything that's gone on.
How could a child survive without EastEnders?
Right, listen, so he's sat in the room, right, and then when they're all asleep... Right,
wait for this bit.
Someone
Have you heard this bit?
Yeah, wait for this bit. They're all in a room.
Yeah.
They're asleep.
Yeah.
Someone pops in, puts a guitar next to the bed, right, nips off out again. They wake up in the morning, and one of them goes, what's this? They don't even know it's a guitar, because they've never seen one, right?
They're talking English, though.
Yeah.
We just left the guitar out of the vocabulary.
Right, so...
There's plenty more to come.
So, one of them will pick it up, and they'll go, I don't know what it is, and they'll start strumming, they'll go, that sounds good, doesn't it? Give them a few weeks, they could come up with Hey Jude. Whereas, typing Shakespeare, a monkey that can't even spell...
I see that.
Can't answer it.
I might come with you, Rick, if that's alright.
We've got to sort out that Christmas special as well.
Yeah, no, sure.
Alright, I'll see you later.
I'm shooting off then as well.
Cheers, pal. Flaming Lips, Yoshimi battles the Pink Robots on XFM 104.9.
Before the ad break, Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle.
Great track.
Lovely to hear that.
Brilliant track. We're not scared of playing that sort of stuff, are we?
Indeed.
We've got some great... I think we're underestimated here. People think we're just like, you know, two guys and a buffoon in a room. But we're so much more than that. We try and put together a whole package for them, don't we? For their Saturday afternoon listening pleasure.
If there was an infinite number of us three in an infinite number of studios, broadcasting for an infinite number of shows, would we ever do anything half decent?
Yeah, we eventually...
Would we ultimately come up with something quite good?
What was that email that you were laughing at?
I can't, it's too rude.
What does it say?
It's too nasty.
Oh, go on, give me the gist of it.
The gist of it was that, it would mean that if there was that infinite number of monkeys, eventually, besides the fact that they would type the complete works of Shakespeare, they would also type the sentence, Karl Pilkington is a genius. But the email also said it would also type, Ricky Gervais is I can't say the word, but,
I know.
Yeah.
But the number of times they type it and write, Karl Pilkington is a genius, and Ricky Gervais is a cund.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be there a lot. And it's an email-only competition.
Email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk, and we pick a winner before the end. So,
and we can win that Wicker Man.
The weather.
Best of the weather.
The best of the weather. That would be amazing. The best of the weather.
As a compilation, Channel 4.
Exactly. Winds light to variable.
I love 1976
Remember this
weather.
one from August 1979?
Warm, isn't it? Oh, this is warm, isn't it? Oh,
God. Weather.
I'll tell you what. You remember how we always played, like, great music, usually? I'm up
You've not got another one, have you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. This is David Bowie driving Saturday.
Oh, send it again. What? I'm in the same problem.
I know, eating a biscuit.
Yeah.
David Bowie driving Saturday. That's a great track, isn't it? A crash course for the ravers, eh? That's what this show is, isn't it, Carl? Crash course for the ravers. They tune and they go, wow, that's so cool. I wish I was like Karl Pilkington.
You reckon?
Yeah. Definitely. You've got to read your mum's clues out, didn't you?
Yeah,
these are just for fun only. This is Carl's mum. She listened 1 week, and now she sends him a little example of Rockbusters every week.
She's got, what did she send? This group would go well with your Christmas dinner.
Cranberries?
Yeah. They make a few good cupboards.
They make a few good cupboards?
Yeah.
The Carpenters. I was thinking of EMF.
I was thinking B&Q. The B&Qs.
This group thinks of lots of things.
This group thinks of lots of things.
Yeah.
Go on.
Imagination. I think they're the best ones.
Yeah, obviously we want the worst ones then.
Here's one more. She'd really like Blackpool.
She'd really like Blackpool. She'd really like Blackpool.
Fairground attraction. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Right, so, there's,
does she write anything else in the letter, or does she just send them, like, on a scrawled on the back of, you know, I don't know, a till receipt?
She did with the first one, now it's just the Rockbusters.
Right. So,
really?
She doesn't bother asking how you are, or...
Well, I'll speak to her in a week on the phone, so...
Yeah.
What kind of conversations would you have, then, with your
What do you say?
Stuff?
Do you moan about how overworked you are and stuff to her?
I mean, they're always surprised when I'm getting in late, and that, it's like, you know, what have you done today? Oh, I've just got in from work, and it's like 8:30 at night.
A lot of people get home at 8:30, Carl. Next.
You know, just saying how's the flat going. I was asking my dad some DIY tips the other day. You know, usual sort of stuff you talk with your mum and dad, really.
Yeah.
Talking about the bisons with them. I was watching, did you watch The Mammals in the week?
Oh,
David Attenborough?
No.
I was thinking, actually, right, all this MTV stuff, if there's one reason why I'd like to do it, is I was watching Attenborough, the Mammals programme. I reckon I could do something like that.
Right.
And just have like me, instead of Attenborough, like a young sort of fresh person, watching like certain animals and saying, do we need these? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh God! What's going to be death on Earth?
Well,
That's amazing! Do we need these?
And,
No, 'cause there's loads of
and the
stuff.
audience at home would vote. Would there be something like a
Yeah,
telephone
like a
vote?
vote out system.
Oh,
The
that-
thing is like,
yeah.
it's something interesting that Attenborough was saying the other night on,
Do we need these?
on Jonathan Ross's show, on his telly show, right? He was saying, he said you could take all the humans off the Earth and it would carry on. But take, like, some animals off it, mammals and that, you got problems on your hands. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, the question is, do we need these? Is that part of the big thing?
Right.
Like jellyfish.
Yeah.
We've talked about jellyfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which mammals in particular were
You talked about that Zoe Ball show, haven't you?
Hey?
Which mammals were you thinking we don't need when you watched the show the other night? Any in particular that you thought they don't need them? They're not of interest.
Well, I like whales, but I don't know what they do. And they're taking up quite a lot of room.
Sure.
But stuff like,
Yeah.
but like, jellyfish, I looked into because,
Yeah.
you know,
well,
I was
think
talking
we
about
don't-
them, and they were saying they've got no eyes, no heart, they're something like 97% water,
Yeah.
they're blind, and they do about 33 miles a day.
Right.
So it's like, do we need them? Could we clear them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, a big net.
That would be the programme. What, right, we'll get rid of them. Next week we'll be looking at,
Rhinos.
I think it's genius. Honestly, I think it's genius. And like going along, sort of like picking up sea anemones and going and just lobbing them into the sea.
well, what do you think about MTV doing that? And then I just, in between the bits,
Play music videos?
I play music related
relates
to
to it.
fish, so I could play like Fish,
Yeah.
that rock guy, or the animals,
Rock lobster.
yeah, or what else could
This
we get
could
in
run
there?
and run.
What other songs have got animals in them? The
Well,
monkeys, could play the monkeys.
Yeah, there's about 1 million, so let's not start this.
No, but, do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
So do we need this?
So MTV
Carpet-
flies you around the world
And
to the
you-
most incredible exotic locations. You sort of climb up a tree or whatever next to, I don't know what lives up a tree, some kind of rare parrot. You say, look
Sloth.
at that, it's colourful,
Sloth.
it's interesting.
Oh, you like sloths, don't you?
No, they just live up trees, but I'd say, do we need them?
Why?
Well, what do they do?
What do you mean? What do they do? What do you want from an animal? Carpentry. What do you want?
I don't like scorpions, right?
Right.
But then I found out they look after those monkey things.
They're not monkeys, they're lizards.
Well, alright, yeah, them lizards, they look after the lizards. So there's a reason.
But do you need the lizard? Could be your
Well,
next
yeah,
question.
because the local people made shoes out of them.
But not when the scorpion protected them, they didn't.
Right, we don't need them then.
So, and so ultimately, would anyone decide? I mean, do the animals kind of get a chance to mount a case for their survival? I mean, is there maybe someone that comes into their corner and sort of defends them?
I'd have like a David Attenborough type character who says,
Right.
well, they do this, and I'll go, yeah, but do we need that doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what does an animal need to do in order for you to feel that it sort of gets the chance of life? I mean, like a pet, like an animal, like a dog maybe, or a cat, I mean, they give a certain affection to its owner. Is that a valid reason to survive? Not particularly for you.
Not really.
No,
I've
okay.
been saying that though, blind people use dogs, so they are useful.
So dogs are useful. Saint
Farmers
Bernards,
use
they often
dogs.
save people, don't they, in
Yeah.
snowy weather?
Cats. I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Keep the mice down.
Yeah, but you got rent a kill.
Okay.
What I'm saying is something that will affect the world.
Right. I think you'll find everything does.
Except Carl. I'm not sure what effect he's having on the world.
I tell you what though, Steve, right? Did you watch the mammals?
I didn't see the mammals.
They had bison on it.
Right.
The weirdest looking things you've ever seen.
Yeah.
They've really
Again, you're on dangerous ground here, Carl.
but they've really got it's like, decide what you want to look like. It's just a mismatch of stuff. It's got a really big airy head.
Yeah.
And like you.
Sort of bald at the back.
Right.
Sort of
It sounds like
thinner.
someone you went to school with.
Was there two of them? Oh, brilliant.
From the album Original Pirate Material, it's obviously The Streets, and an album track from that, It's Too Late. Fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know everyone's raving about it being, you know, one of the albums of the year, but it is, I think.
It's great. That's brilliant. I love the backing as well. It's just so good. The lyrics, the things you go, they're my favourite band of the year. Next week then, we'll do all our favourite songs of the year, shall we?
No, I think it's got to be 2 weeks' time, hasn't
Oh,
it?
2 weeks, is it?
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
do
away
Christmas.
next week as well.
What do you mean you're away next week? What are you doing? Zoe Ball show?
I'm going up north again.
Why?
So Claire's going to be here with you.
Okay. Yeah, at least
What are you doing up north?
she does her job.
Just Suzanne's dad's birthday. So
I bet he's a party animal. I've heard that they really kick off, don't they? Is it? Yeah. When?
so
You gonna be raving?
Can't concentrate now.
Oh, well, he's all stressed because the lady from MTV's here. She's going to film his little face. So the things he said in the week, he was so worried. He's got worried about the spot on his head. That won't come out. Just you got your best side.
It's on that side. That's alright.
Oh, yeah. The camera's out. Look, he's getting nervous now. Okay, Carl. Ignore the camera. Okay, just ignore the camera. Okay. Now, me and Steve have done our research for you, and we've got 2 amazing things to tell you. What should I tell them first, about the baby or the...
Well, they're both equally fascinating, so you choose.
I'll tell you the crab thing first, right? Steve actually saw this thing in The Guardian the week, about our research thing, and then we looked it up, we looked into it on Friday, and it is incredible. Right, listen to this. There's a thing in a bay in, New England, right, where it's like the biggest, they make silicon chips and stuff for computers, right? And because of the data protection thing, after they've done them, because they have to destroy the plates, right, well, the information's sort of put onto them, but there's still flakes of silicon. They sort of grind it down straight away, and some of the flakes got into the bay, okay, but some of the information's still on even the slight granules of silicon. Anyway, gets in the water, and silicon is rather like a carbon derivative. I reckon if there'd been life on another planet that wasn't carbon-based, it'd be silicon-based, because that's simple sugars and it's just COH and that, and it can work with silicon, right? Anyway, the crabs have been taken up, it's on the water, and they looked out on the beach, and over years the crabs have started sort of putting themselves in formations, like geometric format, and they couldn't work out why they were doing this. And when they put them in the experiment, they sort of like chopped them up, and they found they'd taken on silicon, and it had sort of got into their brain, and they were downloading information. They picked up little things, because it's just chemical, you know, like electrical impulses had got information off the silicon chip, and they were interfacing it. But this is the amazing thing. One bloke sort of thought of this, and he thought, well, if it's a simple computer, the brain, if it's just a simple sort of electrical thing, then maybe there's sort of, you know, we could get it down. So what they did is they made a thing called a biointerface. And they put it into the crab's brain, just a really simple brain, so it's measured avant-garde, right? And it got impulses from it, and they were getting, like, computer readers, just flashes of, like, symbols and geometric things right on this screen to read the crab's brain, and it was stuff like, you know, fragments of a...
what made them do this in the first place?
Because they saw the crabs behaving differently. They were behaving differently to each other. They were just like, they were, you know, intelligent, and they were sort of solving problems and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when they downloaded the thing, it was like there was they found one of the secretary's names where it had been on the silicon chip, where it was just like a flash of a computer screen. But the most amazing thing is, they downloaded a memory, right? It was like a snapshot where it had been burnt onto the retina of the crab, just a snapshot or something, and it was like a picture of the beach, like a couple of years ago, right? And they also did, incredible, it was like just a digital black and white sort of thing, so they could see what the crab had seen.
Amazing.
Jeez.
Amazing.
So
intelligent crabs.
what are they doing with them now,
super brain.
Well, they think, this is the upshot, they think they could use it as spy crabs, because they could get these crabs. Also, the other thing is, as generations went on, right, so they put a crab in the sea or something, right, lots of crabs in, and then as generations went on, a newborn crab, they downloaded the memory, and it had the memories of its great all together. It had every memory that any crab had been related to it beforehand, because it passed it on. It just passed it on.
So not even ones that had been eating the silicon stuff.
Yeah, no.
These are just like ones that have had kids.
Yeah,
and they've got like,
and they know so you'd know everything. Your everything right the way back.
So would that work if we ate silicon?
Well, possibly.
So what are they gonna?
Well, they can use them for all sorts of things, though. I mean, that's what's incredible. I mean, I don't know how you train it, particularly. I don't know quite sure how you train, but I'm assuming if they can do it that way, then presumably they can
it'd be like
certain silicon information, which they can then plant in it, if you like, within its sort of food.
Also, if you get them onto enemy beaches, you'd have like 1,000 digital cameras, just,
sneaking around. If you get, like, you know, Osama bin Laden or someone,
they don't understand the information they've got.
No, they don't know they're doing it. They just download them.
So that's the thing, so they're not like you could torture them and they won't be able to sort of give you the information because they wouldn't know what information they had because they're just.
But the first crab they downloaded, they just kept seeing the same picture of a big crab feeding it, which they
really.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what, like its mother crab or something?
Yeah. As memories of it as a child.
But they're not in colour, presumably, because
no, it's all in black and white. It's just a digital camera, because it's just they don't see in black and white, so it's just like a, I don't know, I think it's burnt onto the retina or something. And, the only one that they kept were the ones they saw a lot of the time.
Well, I mean, in a way, some of the educating Ricky I've got for you today is on the similar lines.
Right.
Oh, you've got to be impressed by that. You've got to be impressed by that.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm interested to see, you know, what they do.
What they do with what the crab developments are.
But yeah, no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Did you get an O level or GCSE?
We know he didn't.
You know.
But was there a commerce exam or was it just a division of maths?
What did he fill out a check?
Was it a subset of
maths? It was an option. It was like, if you want to do it, you can.
What was it? Fill out a check.
Pay a bill.
Pay a bill.
Have a visit round
Kellogg's, and I saw my sister's boyfriend there at the time. He sorted me out with some variety packs.
Really? What was in them?
You know, Rice Krispies and
good stuff.
Cocoa Pops?
Space Dust or whatever it is.
Space Dust?
So, sorry, that wasn't Ken Dodd, no.
No.
That was someone else, that was an aunt.
That wasn't Special K. Oh dear.
What about this then? Home Secretary David Blunkett admits that muggers rule some streets.
Weird this. Because when I was out with you...
I don't believe it's going to be weird, whatever you say, Carl.
No, when we were in that pub that night and we got talking about muggers and that, the tip is, what I tend to do, because I nearly got mugged once.
You nearly got mugged once?
I nearly got mugged.
Yeah.
But I tried this technique of acting a bit mental.
Right, and how did you act mental?
Well, this guy wanted me trainers. And, I was in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester, it was quite late one night. And he come up, he said, I want them trainers. I said, you want them? I said, I worked hard for these. He said, how dare you come to me asking, and I got a bit livid, and he looked at me like, oh my god, he's got a right one here, and he left me.
Were you acting mental, or were you just mental?
No, I put it on a bit.
Were you not petrified then?
Well, you don't think about it, do you, when you're sort of in the eyes of danger?
Well, not you, clearly you're a brave man. So what did you say?
I just went a bit mad. I just kinda, because he said he wanted the trainers and they were dear ones at the time. And, no, you're not having these. So I've crafted you. I said, I wanted these trainers.
Yeah.
And, you know, went on to tell him how I work at printers and I don't enjoy it and, you know, I put in all these hours and that and I have to cycle home for about 5 miles and
Did he give you his trainers?
Yeah.
Did he have a knife?
I just left. No, he didn't get that violent.
Well, that's very brave of you, Carl.
Yeah, it's
That's good advice though, just act mental.
See, Watts actually tried it the other night.
Oh, Liza Minnelli?
Yeah.
Well, she said, I've worked hard for these diamonds. Yeah. It's not easy being the daughter of Judy Garland. You don't know what it's like.
Finally, apparently, there was a crook that got a security job at Heathrow. Right, he was a crook and he got a job at Heathrow. As robbers steal another £2 million. Apparently security down there is lax.
Yeah.
Is that a concern for you?
Is this another?
Yeah.
2 million?
Yeah.
Why is all this money at the airport?
It's those sandwich shops. You know how they're really expensive, the sandwiches in, like, when you're in a plane. They're like £2.50 for tuna, which is ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's basically the reason.
What do you mean, why is all this money at airports?
What is it doing there? Why?
Have a go. No, have a go answering this yourself. Why is anything at an airport?
It's going somewhere.
Or coming in from somewhere.
Yeah, but money, you can sort it out through the bank, like phone banks and that.
Have you done commerce? You know a lot about paying bills and writing out checks, don't you?
Tell us about Kellogg's.
What was it like? What was in the factory? Was it just like squashing bits of corn?
Pretty boring, really. Just loads of conveyor belts, boxes of cornflakes everywhere. Just what you imagine.
Yeah.
So is it more? This is where you might be working. This is where you're likely to work.
Possibly. There was 2 trips. There was that and a trip to Manchester Evening News.
Okay.
And I left that early because they had a job in Cordon Bleu.
Kellogg's.
Cordon Bleu, what's that?
It's like a supermarket.
Yeah.
And I had to leave the trip early, and the teacher went mad saying they thought I'd got lost on the, you know, in the building and stuff.
Well, you didn't tell anyone?
No, because it was like day 2 of working in this supermarket, and I couldn't be late. I thought by the time I explain where I've got to go and everything, I'll be even later.
Sure.
So I just left, and then apparently they were searching the building and everything for me.
Oh, were you?
Stuck in a printer. Dunno.
Stuck in a printer?
I don't know.
What was the printer's name?
You worked at a supermarket called Cordon Bleu.
Yeah. Cordon Bleu!
Brilliant.
That's great, isn't it?
It's rubbish.
Oh.
Got sacked.
What did you get sacked for?
Messing about in a, back in the car park round the back.
Yeah.
There was a grid, and all the concrete had gone funny, so when it rains you got like a big lake.
Oh yeah.
Right? And I got in, do you know those big metal trolleys you get to like put all the food in whilst
Oh yeah.
And I got in one of them, and pushed myself out into this lake.
Of cement?
No,
Of water.
full
Oh, it
of
was
water,
water,
'cause it'd been
right,
raining.
right.
And I got stuck in the middle, right? And the boss was like, where's Carl? He's meant to be doing, facing up the beans. And I was like...
And you were stranded in a lake.
So someone said, I saw him messing about out the back. He came out and saw me stuck in the middle of this lake in a trolley. And he said, get back in. I said,
Would you say, no, I'm filming sharks?
I said, it's too deep. I can't get out, you'll have to pass me something. And he said, I'm not passing you nothing. He said, you can get out of there and walk through it. I said, I'm not, I've got my trainers on, probably the same ones.
Yeah, you risked
actually.
your life for them.
Yeah. I said, I'm not getting these wet. I said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to wait for the water to go down the grid. He said, the grid's blocked. Now get out or you're sacked. I said, well, I'm not getting out. He said, right, you're sacked.
So you were sacked? How long did you have to wait for the water to go down the grid?
In the end, I did get bored, and I sort of did a bit of a leap and a jump and got 1 foot wet.
How long were you waiting?
Maybe about half an hour.
Just think of it. Just think. I mean, how did he get himself into that situation? That's fantastic. Should we play a record?
Oh, definitely. That's
Yes,
a
nice.
joy. Oh, you're an absolute pleasure. More White Van Man next time on the show. Electric Soft Parade. I keep trying to get the album for free from you, Carl. You've not sorted me out yet. I have to rely on other people to give me different copies
No,
of
I did
the different
try,
tracks.
I'll keep trying.
Please do. This is one called There's a Silence, Electric Soft Parade.
Gomez and Shot on XFM 101.9. Sorry, I was going to tell Steve something. Talk amongst yourselves. When you were out there, Johnny Mango phoned up and said to Carl, come on, when are we going to do this thing? And Carl got all nervous. Right, and he went, you don't want to do it, do you? He said, well, it's going to get out of hand. I just wanted to go as high as a tree. And, he went, well, you can. I'll hold you down with a rope. He went, yeah, but he said, but when the crowd are there and they're all screaming higher, I'll feel the pressure and have to go along with it. What crowd? What crowd is this? Higher. No, higher.
We don't live in a medieval era. It's not going to be dancing bears and tumbling midgets. Well, I don't know, that's an idea.
Hold on. If there's anyone got any of those.
Tumbling midgets would be amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Less balloons, cheaper to do.
Oh, you're going
No, you're going up with them. No, you're going up with them, not just, no.
With a midget under either arm. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's time for the re-education of Karl Pilkington. This week Karl was studying, the life and times of Winston Churchill. What do you make of it, Karl? What did Churchill do for
Right,
you?
last week I made a bit of an error with Hitler.
Yeah, you
Tried to remember too much, and it was way too much for me.
Sure.
So what I've done this week, sort of flicked through, got a few of them basic facts.
Yeah.
And what I've learned, right, bit weird the way all these people have something in common, that they're all a bit weird when they're younger.
Okay.
They've
Go
got
on,
some sort of illness.
go on.
Well, Rasputin, he wasn't well as a kid.
Yep.
Che Guevara.
Oh, this is Rasputin the Mad Monk wasn't well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Che Guevara.
Asthma.
Really bad asthma.
Mm.
Hitler. He was
Only
a
one ball.
bit mental.
Yeah.
Only one. His mother.
He was a bit mental. That could be libelous.
Yeah.
And, who've we done? And Churchill.
Yeah.
Very weak child.
Was he?
He only spoke to his dad 4 times in his whole lifetime.
Really?
Yeah, didn't get on with his dad.
Right.
And I think one of the times when his dad spoke to him, he was having a go, saying, he didn't do as well in the army as he wanted him to.
Right.
So that's pretty sad bit I picked up of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that spurred him on anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going in all the ins and outs. Very important bloke.
Okay.
No, seriously, I mean, your dad bought the tapes, didn't he?
Yes.
And I can understand why. Because he did change a lot for us, you know what I mean? We wouldn't be sat here now, talking like this.
Why?
We could have been German.
Yep.
He didn't let that happen.
No.
Everyone had a go at him, right? When I think it was Chamberlain who was in power.
Yeah.
And he was like saying, don't be trusting that Hitler.
Yeah.
You know? And everyone was like, look, stop causing trouble. Chamberlain sorted it out, he sorted out a peace agreement.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I don't trust him. and everyone's like, oh, you know, you're just causing trouble, you know, everyone else is happy. Then it turned out that Hitler did actually do the dirty.
Yeah.
And try and come over.
I remember, didn't he do something, he started a war or something?
There was a conflict of some kind.
Yeah. Started a problem, and everyone went, hang on a minute, that Churchill knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Get him back in charge.
Sure.
And they got him in, and Hitler was scared of him because he knew that he wasn't going to be having any lies or anything. He couldn't try it on with Churchill.
Yeah. Especially when he was a little bit pissed up and coked and with a big cigar. Churchill.
He wasn't he wasn't doing that.
I think a lot were during the war, in the war cabinet. I think they had to have things to keep him awake all night and stuff, and he certainly liked a brandy.
Rick, Winston Churchill was coked up, was he? I mean, sorry, this is something I wasn't aware of.
If there are any historians listening, if I'm wrong, I'm
was that
very
in the
sorry.
World at War?
No, I don't think so.
Was
any historians or you know, experts on war? Did Churchill and not some of the other people during I think the First and Second World War take a little bit of cocaine?
So when he said that,
Doctors certainly used to.
Hitler liked cakes. Would they be like the funny sort of cakes?
No, he probably did like a little bit of Madeira cake.
Right. But it's all there, isn't it? It's interesting. The one that I was telling you before about, what's the name? The lost letter.
The lost letter? What's
the lost postcard that's just turned up. Some woman sent a postcard years and years ago to a niece or something, right? And a niece was like 3 years old back then. And just now, like I think like yesterday or the day before, it turned up. The postcard turned up 74 years late.
74 years late.
It took 74
years.
years.
And that 3-year-old girl's been living in the same house that whole time.
Well, yeah. Sure. There's no weird about
that. You see what I mean? There's always a question you can ask to just scratch the credibility of these stories. There's always, it's like the apocryphal tale.
Was this the slugs? Was this those slugs from last week?
Yeah, well, they're holding back because they're slow. Because the postman slug is useless. Its round takes him 74 years. Then he's got to go back to the beginning. He's got 74 years, and they can't carry the bag. That's why they go. That's why they turn to glue. That's why they turn to glue.
Oh. It's pitiful.
It is pitiful.
So you don't believe that someone sent a postcard years ago and somehow it's been stuck in the bottom of a post bag or something, and it's only just
stuck in the bottom of a post bag? Yeah. That means that there's like a 95-year-old postman who's still wandering around.
Did you have to pay like the difference on the charges? Because presumably
it wouldn't have had Queen Elizabeth's.
It was a penny black, presumably, was it?
Yeah. What would be on the stamp? It would have been invalid, surely.
Dunno.
See, these are the questions you should ask yourself.
Because if it's the postman's fault, the post office can't turn
who was
around.
83 at the time himself, wasn't he? He was
No, he is dead. Yeah, he'll be well and truly dead now.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the post office made an error, right? They lost this letter.
Sure.
It's only just turned up. They can't turn around and say, sorry about this, I hope it isn't urgent. It's turned up 74 years late, and by the way, you owe us 25 pence.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that, would they?
That's true, that's true.
So
that's true. You're asking questions, though, you see? That's true, you see?
Right, we're doing Rockbusters then.
Oh, okay, now you should explain briefly what the concept is, Carl, because there might be a few new listeners.
It's Blockbusters. Right, go on then.
Well, it's not Blockbusters.
No, because they were real clues, weren't they?
Yeah, that was actually...
He says they're a cryptic clue, it's not cryptic.
Well,
it's like, what am I thinking? This competition is like, what number am I thinking of?
Rick, just calm down for a second, let me explain basically what the concept is. You'll remember some of the greats from the past.
Yeah.
Basically, you give some vague clue, is that right, Carl? And from that, we're supposed to deduct which band or artist you're thinking of. So, for instance, there was
one, the West Indian fella spinning a fish round his head, and that was Detroit Spinners.
The Trout Spinners.
Yeah, Detroit Spinners. Yeah.
There's also what happens if you fall over into a puddle in Texas. Wet knee Houston.
That is the level of Carl's
That's what you're
clues.
working with.
But could I just say, there's no irony in this. Carl doesn't think this is quirky or kitsch or ironic. He thinks these could go on the Guardian crossword.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
This is the best stuff you can come up with.
Yeah.
Right. So there's three of them.
Yeah.
Right. I give you the cryptic clue
not
to help you along. Well, it is.
Yeah,
and I give you some initials of the band or the artist or whatever to help you along as well.
Yeah.
Three of them.
This is on the text only. We don't want emails on this one. Just
it's the one that gets the highest, or the first one to get 3. The first email with 3, or the first one that is the highest. So if no one gets the third one, which I wouldn't blame you for, so if there's like 30 people that get 2, it's the first email that comes in that we pick, and they win a handful of tat. Would you like to go through?
I'll search out the tat in a second. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah,
good stuff.
There's some DVDs and stuff in there. It's not bad. Yeah, but it means you go forward to the grand final in 6 weeks' time when you're playing for all that amazing stuff Ricky's got. We've got the signed, genuine, exclusive drawing of Homer Simpson done by Matt Groening, featuring references to Carl. We've got the signed Spinal Tap poster. This is big stuff you can't get anywhere else.
No, it's a rare American poster signed by.
And it's such a shame that your only chance of winning it is with this inane quiz.
Absolutely, it's not down to skill or anything. It's just such a shame that.
Let's just do it then.
Go on
then. Right, the first one.
Go on.
What you got to remember is it's a band or an artist that XFM play as well, right? Right then, so the first one.
Oh yeah, because XFM play with Detroit Spinners and Whitney Houston all the time, don't they?
All right, these 3.
Okay.
Giving it away, but these are XFM bands.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. If you got like a ball.
Oh Jesus. I know, you don't think about the cryptic clue is that every syllable counts. He says it's different every time he says it. There'll be something different. Look, go on then.
Go. Right, so if you get a bulb, right?
A bulb what?
A bulb.
A bulb.
What's a bulb?
What's a bulb?
Like a
light bulb.
A light bulb. Oh, a light bulb.
So you get a bulb.
You get a bulb. Yeah. Go on. He's gone. Right, go on.
So you get a bulb. Right.
Don't forget a bulb. Yeah. Have you got something in your throat? What are you doing? You need a gobstopper. What are you doing?
We'll play a song then.
No, come on! Get the clue out, for goodness sake.
So the cryptic clue is, so, if you get a bulb, right, so...
That's the beginning. Okay, great.
Right, if you get if you get a bulb, like, go on.
And you look after it, right, you look after that bulb. And you teach it stuff.
Jesus
and all that.
Christ.
What are you doing there? Do you know what I mean?
This is extraordinary. This is extraordinary.
Imagine that written down in the Telegraph.
He's had 18 months to get that.
Imagine it. That's not a clue. That's an essay. I don't know what it is. It's a conversation with yourself.
A light bulb, a bulb like you plant in the garden. What kind of bulb does he mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Like, you get a bulb.
Well, remember that. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
No,
okay. It doesn't matter.
It does, but I can't say too much. Right, so listen, let me just do it again. You get a bulb, right, when it's young, you look after that bulb, you teach it stuff and what have you. What have you done there? What's gone on?
Brilliant!
And what are the initials of the band?
R, right? R for rabbit, right? So what's the band there? Second one.
Jesus.
People have a problem doing this when they get home from like a night out drinking. Right? What's the problem they've got? Right? The initial there, K. What's the band? Right? People get in from having a night out, they'll have a problem doing this. What is it? What's the problem?
Okay. And clue number 3?
I had a vision of that Chinese flu. Right? That's C. I had a vision of that Chinese flu.
You had a vision of that Chinese flu.
Yeah, and
that's
the
the letter
band
C.
C. Right? So 3 bands there. 3 cryptic clues.
Not really.
Text in 83 XFM. Just send the 3 band names. That'll do on it.
Can they do a website as well?
If they want, they can email in.
Well, tell them what it is.
Yeah, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Send it in there.
Give them again quickly then, Carl.
Right then, so get a bulb when it's young and that. Look
Brilliant,
after it.
different, totally different.
Teach it stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Okay.
What's the band? Right.
Yeah.
Second one. People have a problem doing this when they get home late at night. You know, they've been out drinking and that. They get home. What problem are they going to have? K is the initial. Third one. I had a vision of that Chinese flu. What do I mean?
Brilliant.
C is the initial.
Play a record. I mean, it's abomination. Right.
Give us the.
Go on, give us the clue. I haven't got an idea. Go on, give me the clue then again.
Right. Well, do you want to say who the winner is, or
No, let's hear the answers first.
First clue was if you get a bulb when it's young, you look after it and that. You teach it stuff.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Go on.
The initial was R.
Yeah.
Right. That was razor light. All right.
Raise a light. You raise a light.
Razor
Yeah.
light. Okay.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it didn't matter what sort of bulb it was then.
It was very
Sure.
specific.
Go on, Mike. Go on.
People have a problem doing this when they get home from a night out drinking.
Yeah.
What's the problem they're having? They have a problem getting the key in. That key in, keen. That's
That's awful.
Words.
That doesn't count.
Words.
Keen.
And they got it right.
It's keen. It's keen. It's one's awful. Awful.
I had a vision of that Chinese flu. The initial there was C. That was Caesars. Caesars. They managed to get that as well.
I love the fact that even he knows they managed to get that as well. Did anyone get all three?
Yeah, a few people.
That's terrible. Okay, who's the first one?
I don't know what it says about XFM and its listeners that people are getting these answers right.
I know. Go on then.
I mean,
the last time I sort of sat down and had time, because I'm always busy doing stuff on that.
Sure. Moaning takes up about 3 hours a day.
When did Wimbledon finish?
A couple of weeks ago.
Right. Found myself sat there, right. I'm not having a go. I know we've stopped Cheeky Freak of the Week and all that, right? So I'm not going to be having a go.
Christ,
I sat there.
I'm scared.
No, I'm not having a go. You've always got to remember that.
Go on, just get on with it. Get on with it. I'll apologise after.
I'm just saying, watching Wimbledon, it wasn't, you know, one of the major games. It was little fellas in a wheelchair having a game.
Little fellas in a wheelchair.
Right.
But for me, I mean, you know, great. They're doing a sport and everything. Don't put it on the telly.
What was up with it?
There wasn't like a rally going on. No, do you know what I mean? Do you know normally, like, with the well, not to Enman, but with some of the other, with some of the other players and that, they're playing for ages, aren't they? It's like, oh, who's going to win this and that?
Yeah.
None of that. It was just like, hit it, net.
Oh, Christ! Oh, God! I don't know what to do!
And people would, like, sat there watching it as well, when they've got other games going on in there. That's what I couldn't understand. If you've paid your money to get in...
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, good on them if they... Do you know what I mean? But it would have been...
And they always start first in the marathon.
I just thought it would have, you know, give them a game of swing ball or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I understand.
Oh, God!
Yeah. There's never anything on.
XFM in the community. I'm running out of steam now, Steve. A bit tired.
Are you?
So I've got 15 minutes to do, so we better think of something to say or
well, I genuinely was going to ask you, because obviously Christmas is approaching and I've not even started to think about Christmas gifts, so I don't know how you're getting on, Claire.
I never do.
But, because Claire, you're aware of what Ricky bought his family last year, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, I am, because he told me and I'd completely forgotten.
It's extraordinary. It is extraordinary. I mean, how much thought and planning went into it?
Right, I was pressed for time.
How many kids were there? How many people were there?
This is it. I've got a big family, okay? Well, not big, but I mean, they've got lots of kids, so I'm sort of youngest in my siblings, and so they're, you know, they've got kids ranging from like 30 to babies, and there's about 15 of them.
And you buy them all?
Yeah, I'll try and get them. Try and get them all.
Nice.
So what
is it? Wait.
So I got a lift down. And I thought, oh, what can I get? I thought, oh, I can't just give him the money.
I'll stop you there straight away, if I may. What? You notice he's on the way down for Christmas Day.
Oh, right, so he's on the... Oh, right!
He's on the way down. This is when he starts... Boxing Day. So this is when he starts to think about buying them a gift.
Yeah.
On you go.
So, I was getting a lift, and, Matt was giving me a lift down, so, just before we got there, I just ran across the road to the 7-Eleven, got 200 quid worth of scratch cards.
Scratch cards. Scratch cards. Bear in mind, I think you were describing the family then. I noticed, some of them you described as babies.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So, children?
Yeah!
You're giving the children the gambling cards.
But that's lovely. I give them 10 each, so they could have won thousands of pounds. A lot of them were disappointed when they won nothing, but I said, kids, that's the gamble.
That's the risk you take when you receive a gift from me. But the great thing about getting,
some of them won. Some of them were laughing.
But the great thing about getting kids hooked on gambling as a Christmas gift is it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes,
throughout your adult life.
It gives and it takes.
Exactly.
So it's fair.
Yeah.
I don't hand them to children. I hand them to the parents.
Right. They chose to do them.
They could distribute them as they wanted.
Sure.
So what are you going to do this year, Ricky?
But how are you going to top that?
Yeah.
300 quid worth of scratch cards. That's got a bit of money now.
It's the most thoughtless
and the Office on
pikey
DVD.
gift I've ever heard
I
of.
think they might be getting the Office on DVD. Signed.
So that's already sent it up in value.
Oh dear. I know, that's pretty bad.
So have you seriously considered it this year?
I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go shopping properly. Yeah.
If you want any help, I am the queen
Didn't you take
of
a small
shopping.
roulette wheel down there, wouldn't you? Genuinely, didn't you buy like a roulette wheel?
No, I had it. That's down there from when I got it when I was about 10.
Oh right.
And sometimes I'm the banker. I always win.
Yeah, of course.
But they got to learn a lesson. The banker always wins. I bet it's a valuable lesson when they lose money to me.
You should just go down this year and just say, basically, I went to a casino. I put £10 chip on for everyone.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's the winnings.
You lost.
You won.
Yours came in. Yours was a donkey, love. Yeah.
But Steve, what about you then? Because I mean, you don't like shopping.
Well, it's not that I don't like shopping. It's that I've got no ideas. You know, I'm running on empty with my parents. They don't appear, as far as I can make out, they don't appear to have any hobbies.
No.
I said to you before, my grandparents.
You don't like wasting money. I'm not being funny, but you don't like wasting money either, do you?
Well, I don't like wasting money, no. But I like to buy something practical for people. I like something which is going to last, something that's value for money. I don't like novelty gifts.
Yeah.
No, I think novelty gifts are wrong.
I've mentioned to you that my grandparents spend all their time in bed. So there's only so many kind of, you know, sort of bed socks you can buy, you know, and ointment for, you know, bed blisters and so on before, you know, you run out of ideas.
What about some of those novelty teeth? Because that would be, you know, a nice jokey present, and they could probably come in useful for chewing the broccoli.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, do you know what would be nice? One of those. No, I'll tell you when. No,
go on.
those sort of travel pillows. So you know when you're travelling and your head sort of falls down like
but they travel from vertical to almost horizontal.
They're sitting up in their bed.
Get on one of them beds that come up. You're not made of money. What am I talking about?
Like Thora Hurd's bed. Thora Hurd's bed.
Does her feet ever touch the ground now? Do you know what I mean, though?
No, it's literally
she goes shopping in one of those little trolleys. She goes straight into her room. She's up the stair lift. She gets lowered into the bath.
Yeah. It's
terrible.
Ludicrous. I just lazy. I mean, I tell you that, but I mean...
Well, there's a whole idea.
But yeah, but if you're earning the kind of money that, you know, that Heard is on, you know, with her songs of praise and whatever else.
Under the sofa,
exactly.
Money for
she
old
was at the Comedy Awards last year, wasn't she?
Well, I'll give her an award. She's up the stairs like a greyhound. She can move then. Yeah.
But so I've got no ideas. Absolutely no ideas.
Okay.
But any suggestions are welcome, Claire. What are you going to get your family? You've already
well,
put this through.
No, I obviously can't tell you because they will be listening.
Right.
But they're all outside at the moment because my family are coming to meet me after the show, and we're going to swap presents then because.
Okay.
Outside.
Are there any Office
in Leicester
DVDs?
Square? No, I haven't.
Books?
No.
Because I should point out that the Office DVD is currently available. Good,
I actually did go and buy. I actually went and bought it myself.
You also buy it
and
online.
I am enjoying the scripts, by the way.
Excellent. That's in. I love the fact that we're authors in the top 10.
Yeah, we're in the top 10 bestseller list.
No. But to be fair, we're at number 7 in the paperback non-fiction. Now I don't understand how that can be non-fiction.
Yeah.
Because it's the transcript from a made-up television
it's not a real
show.
documentary.
Exactly, yeah. But we're beating these poor people.
But we're officially best-selling authors.
I think that's fantastic.
Which is excellent. Which is very good.
My favourite bits are the emails at the start. I like them.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't know what you're talking about, Claire, but of course if they pop down to Waterstones or Books and Checker, they can sort themselves out there with a copy of it.
Oh, dear.
Nice. I like your style. Can we have some more music now?
Let's have, what plays? The Streets, maybe? I mean, the Streets is obviously one of the albums of the year, and this is one of the
album of the year.
This is Week Becoming Heroes, I think the last single, and Dynamite it is too. Eric Sermon, and what's the tune called there?
It's called React. Yeah, he's got from his debut. No, not his 4th solo album.
Not bad.
I'm enjoying the tunes. Steve.
No, absolutely.
I'm enjoying the chat. I'm enjoying the tunes.
We've keeping it real.
I'm enjoying the penultimate show before Christmas.
Last message from Anders, I suspect, for the day. He says, "I've just roasted my chestnuts over an open fire. It's a lot more enjoyable than listening to your show."
He's
pretty snappy, is Anders.
Yeah,
you know, he keeps them coming. You know. It's a shame that, you know, that we sort of couldn't sort of maybe meet up with him and try and persuade him that, you know, he should come over to our side rather than, you know...
Come over to the side.
Exactly.
Yeah, come over to this side.
I think we've got him though, because
Do you think so?
Yeah, apparently they did this survey in America. People who loved Howard Stern listened to an average of like an hour and a half a week, and people who hated him listened 2.5 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think he's probably more faithful a listener
yes.
than some of the people that quite like us.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got to listen, I'm the same with some people, I've got to listen to things that I just think are awful, I can't. You know, it's compulsive viewing. So, you know, I don't care if people listen to us because they hate us or like us.
No, indeed, as long as they're listening.
I was on the tube.
As long as they're spending money on the advertisers.
Other day, yeah, I was on the tube the other day, and obviously there's lots of pictures of you guys, and there was a young couple, and the guy was trying to explain to the girl what you did, and he said, no, you should check them out, that they do quite well, actually.
Really?
Nice. That's very sweet.
Why was he explaining to her? She didn't know what was happening, or?
I don't know, I sort of, as I walked by them...
Are you leaving out the fact that she went, oh, I hate that bloke?
No, not at all, no, because I would say that, because that would be quite a
He had some Germans laughing at him on the tube, because they recognised him. You don't think of that?
Well, because obviously Ricky doesn't travel on the tube anymore. He's too rich for that.
I never did. I always thought it was beneath me.
Sure, but
I used to walk everywhere, didn't you?
But I'm still forced to take the tube, and I sat on the tube, and it pulled up, and outside the window, just happened to be on the station, was one of the posters with us. So I was kind of there, not realising it was behind me, and these big kind of fat German or maybe Bavarian guys.
Well, they're in lederhosen eating sausages.
Yes, they were.
They're Bavarian.
Yeah, they were. And I noticed one of them kind of looked at me, then looked at the poster, then looked at me, just happened to say it, and wittered something to his friend in German. You know, I don't want to try and do an impression.
That's freaking goggle-eye.
Oh, whoa.
I think that... No, but I know what you're thinking it means. It doesn't mean that.
Right, okay.
It means...
What's a rough translation?
Elegant boy.
Right, okay, yeah. And so anyway, he pointed out the poster, and his
That's
mate...
lanky piss and streak.
and his mate burst into laughter. And then we pulled
they've got a great sense of humour, the Germans.
Well,
that's the thing.
But we rumbled onto the next. We rumbled onto the next station, and the poster was in exactly the same place. And this time they tapped the shoulder of someone else on the train and pointed me out, and that person also laughed.
An Italian? An Italian bloke, yeah. There was a French. Was there a bloke with a beret and a little moustache on the other side?
Yeah.
Was the United? Did you get on the United Nations Express? Just to. Oh, imagine that.
Yeah, it was fake.
See the freak. Look at this freaky goggle eye.
Right, whereas, I love the fact that before, you were at least pretending to be speaking German. Now this is an Italian with an accent. It's just a guy speaking perfectly good English.
Same.
You've not even disguised the insult there.